High Templar is superior in every way. Yeah, for sure. Like that's why you see High Templar a lot more prevalent in the mid game, right? When the ghost count is low, you can have your Templar Pappy. And of course, there is some counterplay available in the mid game as well when it comes to keeping your High Templar in the War Prism, right? To keep them safe from EMPs. But again, as the game progresses, as you saw as well, like the Viking count gets higher as well. So you get more Vikings, you get more ghosts, so even something like a War Prism isn't safe to keep your High Templar inside because of the Viking count as well. So High Templar, they don't scale into longer games. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into our fresh series. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is ShoWTimE for Sentinels. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our fresh series, into our fresh best of 5. And coming into this, we do have our top 2 players here. We are going to be loading into Tourmaline. Tourmaline, as we mentioned before, is a very aggressive map. To its credit, though, we did see some mid to late game last game, but it was very low eco, right? There was a lot of engagements, a lot of fighting. The reason for this is because the entrance into the natural is very wide. Very wide entrance into the natural, wide entrance into the third, and wide entrance into the fourth base as well. So it does lead into very difficult defensive positions, and it means that we do often have a lot of fighting, a lot of trades, a lot of intense kind of back and forth moments, which we experienced last game, and we could see that again. Could see that again. As we have Clem going for an economic opener, Rax expand out of Clem, meanwhile ShoWTimE going for his own gate expand into Cybercore. So standard openers all around. When it comes to ShoWTimE's preferred style, it's often mid to late game. Like, he's not really much of an aggressive player. He does mix it up a little bit from time to time, but not too much. So we should be seeing a Twilight Council. We might see a Stargate. But on a map like this, like, no shot. When it comes to Clem's play, he's very diverse. He's very, very diverse in TvP, but he often does lean towards hyper-aggression. If he needs a turtle, he will, but often he will embrace that on larger maps, right? Winter Madness, Mothership, Celestial Enclave, Taito Citadel, White Rabbit. On those larger maps, we will see Clem take a more defensive, turtle-heavy stance instead to build up into that perfect Terran army of like Bio, Ghost, Viking, Liberator. But on the smaller maps, we should be seeing something more aggressive out of Clem. Referring to Tourmaline, Ruby Rock, and 10,000 Feet. And now, Twilight Council opener out of ShoWTimE. Opening of Twilight Council, scouting across the map, getting a read on what is going on. Go. As the hallucination does go into the main base, does get a full scout, does confirm the 1-on-1, confirms the bio army, confirms there's no add-on swap, there's no like reactor Reaper Hellion, and also gets eyes on the tech lab as well, and confirms the add-on swap. Okay. Yeah, ShoWTimE, he sees everything. Add-on swap into Raven, not Banshee. So with the Raven opener, this is designed to harass, with auto turrets. Of course, ShoWTimE doesn't know what's being made. Could still be Banshee, could even be Cloak. ShoWTimE will have to rescout. We'll have to rescout. Until then, he's walling up at the natural. We have 2 gateways at the natural, Robo, and 1 gateway in the main. 3-gate blink. A very safe build here by ShoWTimE. Very safe, which again is what we expect. So safely out of our Protoss. Here comes that second hallucination. The goal here is to check for any upgrades on the tech lab, and check for a Banshee or a Raven. Speaking of, ooh, doesn't spot the unit. Marines, they attempt to deny. It does confirm there's no upgrade, but doesn't know what was made. Raven's moving out. There's Yadon swap into bioproduction, into stim. Raven towards the main. At the same time, ShoWTimE is moving out for some map control. Nice scouts. Clem does get eyes on the third base timing. He now knows it wasn't a fast third. He knows it was later. Does get some probe damage. Getting 1, getting 2. Getting 3. 2. Yeah, 2 probe kills and denied mining. Not bad. Not a bad start. Bearing in mind that you can keep the Raven outside of the main, but no, he pulls back home. ShoWTimE looking for a dive. Has high ground vision. Oof. Tank quality goes off, and ShoWTimE cannot get in. Well, he can hit the natural though. Doesn't go for it. Does not go for it. 1 Stalker goes down. ShoWTimE is punished. Oh, and we're being crazy here. Going for a Dark Shrine. Follow. No, he gets scouted. No. The Raven moves in. The Raven scouts the Dark Shrine. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that was unfortunate. She can move there, but from ShoWTimE, he gets punished. Or he gets scouted. We'll see if he lets it finish. We could still let this finish and try to go for some delayed DT harass. There can be some value in a later game, but no more surprise factor. Yeah, you can see he just double checks. Clem just double checks to make sure it wasn't cancelled. The Raven, adding a lot of value here. Gets 1 more probe. 3 in total. 3 probe kills. Rescouted. Back at home, Stim is finishing up. Building up all of our bio. 4th base on the way for ShoWTimE. A Dark Shrine will finish. And this at least forces out turrets. At least can do some inadvertent damage. We go Tard in the main. Tard in the natural. ShoWTimE just picking away the army. Does catch a couple of Marines. Oh. Gets another. Yeah, 2, 3 Marines catching out a couple of Marauders as well. Oh, ShoWTimE does get punished, losing 3 Stalkers in the process. Ay, 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 some heavy losses here for ShoWTimE. And ShoWTimE races back. He races back home. Behind this, there is no splash damage, purely a gateway composition. He needs those Zealots. Tanks are moving in. Clem commits. He's committing quite hard across the map. ShoWTimE setting up for a counterattack. Where do we warp in those Zealots? Where does he warp in? Oh, DT. Oh, sorry, Zealot. Just one, just one. Where are we warping in? Yeah, tank is siege, joining ShoWTimE away. The base goes down. Ah, yeah, rough rotation. And ShoWTimE, we lose the expansion. Now we have somewhat of a counterattack. Does catch some SCVs, okay. Does get a couple of workers. Tanks the siege, oh no! Tanks the siege up, he punishes. Yeah, it does punish ShoWTimE, and ShoWTimE is in a world of hurt. Does get 6 SCVs across the map, warps into the main base, this has potential. Has potential, but the main army is still in favor of Clem. And ShoWTimE is losing too much. ShoWTimE has been missing warp ins. You can see here, he's got 1,400 minerals. Ay, ay, ay. We spoke earlier about warping in defensively back at home, but there were no warp ins. I was curious, but he's just been banking. Been banking heavily here. Mine drop into the natural, throws out a Nexus, tries to defend. Does force a bit of friendly fire. But these are still better trades for the Terran. Yeah, Clem, he can stim, and he could win. Takes out all the Zealots. He wants the Stalkers, they're so low. Nice target firing, and GG gets called. Clem breaks on through, and Clem takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Hyper-aggressive movement there from Clem. ShoWTimE, he needed to engage Clem ahead of time. He had to engage in the center of the map. The problem is every time he did, Clem was sieged. Clem, he was doing a great job when it came to rotating, sieging up, and catching out those stalkers. ShoWTimE, it looked like, to me at least, it looked like he was indecisive whether or not he wanted to warp in defensively or aggressively. Like, he had the prism across the map and he had to make a choice. That's why we did take note of the fact that he was banking up over 1,000 minerals. He had to warp in the zealots somewhere, and it felt like indecision there at a ShoWTimE. Like, would they be best used to harass or to catch reinforcements or to try to force back the army or defensively? And in the end, he just wasn't warping in, right? Like, he wasn't able to go one way or the other, and in the end, Clem, he was able to rotate, out position, killed bases. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2, loading into Winter Madness. Now, what I will say is that Tourmaline, as we mentioned at the beginning, favors aggression, and Clem was hyper aggressive here, was barely giving ShoWTimE any room to breathe. Coming into these larger maps, ShoWTimE should be having a bit of an easier time here, gaining ground, getting his footing going, and holding his own. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on our players. This is where we can go into like some cheeses, some proxies. If you remember, Bjorn also avoided the late game here in his series, where Bjorn, he opened up into 3-rack stim, into the Marauder opener, into a 2-base all-in, likewise to avoid a longer and later game on this map. We'll see how Clem approaches this map himself. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss player himself representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. No warp-ins, part because he was supply blocked. He was not. If you remember, when he warped in that one zealot, I was actively checking. He had free supply. He had free supply available. That was something that I did intentionally check when we saw that he only warped in one zealot across the map. Had the supply for it. There we go. For now, double gas opener here by Clem, opening up double gas into his own faster factory, into a delayed CC. That's so good. It's a good assumption to make. Like, I had made that assumption as well, but that's why I did check the supplies. It's all good. Here we go. Here we go. We're now getting into our second game, and again, it's a larger map, longer rush distance by ground. Here we go. For now, we're going to be setting up. Hello, ShoWTimE. Does skirt around the edge of the map. With this, he will be able to avoid any kind of scouts. And do we hide a pylon? Are we going for a proxy Stargate? Cybercore is on the way. Proxy Stargate is, I wouldn't say common, but it's not unheard of. We see it every now and then. Especially Hero. Hero is very fond of Proxy Stargate. Clem, fun fact, Clem actually mixes in Proxy Stargate every now and then as well. So we're assuming Stargate here into Proxy Oracle, but eyes are on ShoWTimE. Yeah, there it is, Stargate into Oracle. So the goal here is to harass. The goal here is to bust into the mineral line, deal economic damage, take a lead, and run with it. Clem does go in for the scouts. Oh, gets one. Gets one probe, pulls away. Nice catch here by Clem. Nice start. Gets a worker, rotates. Keeping eyes here on ShoWTimE. Remember, behind this, they go for double gas opener himself. Opening up Reaper Hellion, actually. No early Cyclone. So he's got double Reaper, one Hellion moving out across the map. This is an army that's built to deal economic damage. He wants the Adept. He gets it. One Adept goes down. Hellion is coming in to reinforce. And if ShoWTimE isn't careful, this army can find some more probe kills. Back at home, there's a Tech Lab. There's a Cyclone. Now on the way. Oracle also halfway done. And Clem, he goes in for the rescout. And if he checks behind the gas, he should recognize something's wrong. Gets one more probe. Hellion into the natural. Reba gets 3 oh, this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. 3, 4 probes going down. No battery. There's nothing in the main. There's nothing here. The Oracle does commits. ShoWTimE's losing too much. It's losing far too much here. The Oracle will get some counter damage. That's 1, 2, 3 SCVs. Not bad. Got 3 workers, but that's still 6 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. So on the one hand, this damage is nice, but really ShoWTimE is just doing this to equalize. I still have 6 probes back at home. So this has not been worth it. Second Oracle's on the way. Clem, he just commits across. Yeah, he just commits across the map. Like, you could argue that it's better to be defensive to keep up with these Oracles, but he's got a Viking on the way. He's got a Viking on the way, another Cyclone. He's going across the map, and back at home, there's nothing. There's 2 Adepts and 1 Stalker. The batteries will help. But Clem, he wants to kill. He wants to kill. He goes to the mineral line. Catching out more probes. Oracles, they're deflected. And can it catch out the Stalker? Just going for the economic damage. Yeah, 5 probes. 5 more probes go down. Clem, he maintains an economic lead. Doesn't kill, but Clem is ahead. Clem is ahead. These Oracles, they have not done enough damage. Clem going back in. Oh, okay, this time deflected. Forcing defensive warp-ins. But I saw some red soup. Oh, maybe after the Nexus died. Maybe. Because the Nexus did die. And the setup at the 4th base. When I checked, it was before that happened. So maybe. After some supply was removed. So now ShoWTimE, he does move out. Yeah, the pressure's on ShoWTimE. The pressure is very much so on ShoWTimE. From here, he has to commit in. He's blinking on top of the tank. The tank will go down, but he's going to get punished for it. Remember, there's he cannot blink away. He blinked in, losing 1, 2, 3 Stalkers, trying to bait the army into the stasis trap. And sure, he killed the tank, but that was still a brutal trade. A trade that ShoWTimE can't really afford at the moment. Oh, God. Takes a tank shot to the face. One behind. Dark Shrine. Desperation Dark Shrine here from ShoWTimE. Again, he's something to go his way. Blinks in, dives on the Cyclone, but now he's trapped. Yeah, now he's trapped, and he will lose almost everything. Oh, gets away with 3 Stalkers. Does blink away. Now, what's the plan from Clem? I'm sure he's tempted to move out and to commit, but we could just see a 3rd base. +1 is almost done, though. It's going to be very strong timing. Does he notice? He does. Baits out the stasis. Baits out 1. Ooh, the other does connect. Okay, we're buying time. At the same time, Oracles, hey, they pop off in the main. 6 SCVs. We're getting messy. 7 SCVs going down. No 3rd CC for Clem. Do we just send it? Does he send it across? Let's go. As he is pushing behind this, there's Rico back home. Drop here does distract. Scouts the Dark Shrine. Now Clem knows. And here comes the army. Yeah, here comes the main army. Clem, he wants to win the game. Catching out a Stalker. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 Stalkers, 17 probe kills, critical damage. Here come the Dark Templar. Here come the DTs. There's the scan. Remember, Clem, he knew. He scouted. And Clem cannot be stopped. He cannot be stopped. The one hope here is that we run out of scans. That's the only hope. to run out of scares. GG gets called, and Clem was out of control. He takes game number 2. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A rough start there for ShoWTimE. Winding it back, ShoWTimE, he went for a Stargate. He went for a proxy Stargate. Went for a proxy Stargate. A big risk there for ShoWTimE, but in doing so, that meant that he had less to defend back at home, and Clem punished so hard with the initial Reaper, then with the Reaper Hellion, and then with the Cyclone drop as well. Even though ShoWTimE eventually got some damage done with the Oracles, he was taking more damage across the map due to the Cyclone harass and all the other aggression from Clem. Clem recognizing that, hold on, if you're going for a proxy Stargate, that means you have that much less at home to defend. That means you're vulnerable. So really good reaction, really good read there from Clem to just be hyper aggressive as a response to the Oracle and to just go across the map. To go across the map to punish, to deal critical economic damage, and ShoWTimE, he just couldn't keep up. Could not keep up. GG, well played. ShoWTimE, he was desperate. That's why we saw some questionable blinks into the army or blinks into tanks, is because ShoWTimE knew he was behind. So he knew that he had to find some kind of damage, which forced him to take some risks and to go for those kind of blinks. But GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 3. Going to be loading into White Rabbits. Let's go. Clem's up 2-0, and Clem, he needs one more game to claim the series. We are hoping for a back and forth. We're hoping for a longer series here, but the pressure is on our Protoss. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the French Terran player, we have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the German Protoss player, we have the red Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. Let's go. Is he still? Hold on. So we're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of the series. Let's go. Let's go. As Clem is going to be opening up, but both players are. Welcome to White Rabbit. White Rabbit is one of the larger maps of the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. A lot of bases, but the bases are spread out. True, the distance between them is quite long, so longer distance between these expansions makes it more difficult to defend, especially when it comes to keeping up with aggressive move outs. Speaking of aggression, double gas. Double gas opener out of Clem. You have my attention. Faster factory. Last time we saw this, it led into a faster starport, into faster Banshee play. So eyes are on Clem for faster Banshees. Otherwise, we could see a heavier Cyclone cut early on, earlier tank push, for example, as well. Where is that gas going to be spent? ShoWTimE breaks in. Doesn't want to get caught out. Does break in, yep, does confirm the factory. ShoWTimE knows. And we should be seeing a safer start at a ShoWTimE. We should be seeing an earlier robo. So we're assuming 3-gate blink into a robo, or even just 2-gate blink into a robo out of ShoWTimE. Clem pokes in, pulls away. Nothing crazy yet. Clem once again is going to be opening up a double Reaper Hellion, so he'll have a bit of an assertive army here on the map. The goal here of Reaper Hellion is to get economic damage. He can threaten the mineral lines, and here comes that starport. So we have our 1-1-1 setup. Meanwhile, we have a safety battery here at the natural. Twilight Council in the main. Working towards blink. Double Reaper does poke in, and can we get a probe? Gets one. And one probe goes down. Oh, the jukes. Gets a second probe. Okay, 2 probe kills for a Reaper. Better trade here for Clem. And he's going for the dive. Yeah, he does go for the dive. Rushing into the main base. Does get, not one more worker though, but he does get a scout of the tech and does confirm the Twilight Council. So 2 probe kills and a scout. Behind this, no add-on swap. There's no early tech up on the starport, and ShoWTimE confirms no Banshee. No Banshee instead, early Cyclone drop. Okay. Early drop play. There's that third gateway, so 3-gate blink. As we had assumed, a safer build here by ShoWTimE. Upon scouting, he also knows he doesn't need an earlier detection. So no robo yet. We could even expand before it, okay. Chop is moving out. Do you have Raven on the way? Fake Cloak as well. Hallucination does scout. Does see the upgrade. Ooh, and he delays. Wow. Oh my god. He catches out the medevac though. Medevac goes down. Cyclone as well. Better fight here for ShoWTimE. Picking up everything. So we have a back and forth. We have a back and forth here. Snipes the medevac. Snipes the Cyclone. Big misstep there by Clem. At the same time though, ShoWTimE delayed his expansion in favor of a robo because he saw the attempted Banshee play, which is a fake out. So ShoWTimE has a more inefficient build, but he does catch the Cyclone. So in the end, I do think this is still a better trade for ShoWTimE. As he does move out. Behind this, we did end up making a Raven. Raven is out. ShoWTimE is being active. Again, can we bounce back? Can we get a series back? Oh, hello, as ShoWTimE is going into early Templar Archives, into Storm, not Colossus. Fun fact, out of all the TvPs we've had here tonight, I believe this is the first time we're seeing Storm in a TvP. We saw Storm against Rogue earlier, if you recall. But okay. Storm is on the horizon. Getting to that Zealot heavy or that Gateway heavy follow-up. Third CC for Clem. Clem is expanding. Building up into the mid-game. That is a CC before the 4th and 5th racks. So more economic. We're slowing things down. So we're calming down here. ShoWTimE has map control. Clem, he's stuck at home. Building up into 3 bases. This does mean that ShoWTimE can be a little bit more fancy here. You see the Gateway Explosion. You see the Prism on the way as well. ShoWTimE can go for a Storm Drop, for example. They can try to go for a Storm Drop. High Templar, they're ready. They're ready to load up. We can either go for a Storm Drop or we just commit with everything. Okay. Or we can just commit with everything. With the 4th expansion on the way, we should not move out with like a heavy Zealot army. But we'll keep an eye on ShoWTimE. Here comes that Prism. Here comes that load up. Here come the Storms. And we'll see how quickly Clem reacts. Because the Storm Drop is coming. And I believe Clem did not scout the main. Yeah, he's not aware. He's not aware if it's Colossus or High Templar. Clem does not know. The goal here, of course, is economic damage. He's going for a Storm Drop into the mineral line. That's my assumption, but actually meeting up with the main army. Okay. Zealots are coming as well. ShoWTimE, he wants to commit. He sees a 3rd expansion. He wants to break this position. Bold move out of ShoWTimE. It's also a late decision as well. Like the Zealots are just now getting here. There we go. Does Storm to the mineral line. Gets 4 SCVs. 5. Okay. 5 SCVs go down. Storm does graze the army. Better second Storm. Oh my god, the Storms. They punish the Marines. They catch out all the Water Mines, and now it's ShoWTimE. It's ShoWTimE. Send it, Bappy. Send it. Throws down a Bay. Throws down a second Robo. ShoWTimE. We can try to break this. We can send it. He commits in. He's going for it. And ShoWTimE goes to the dive. He does get one of the tanks. Storms the main army. And ShoWTimE is getting into the mineral line. Oof. Does go back into the Storm. Yeah, some brutal storms. SCV's going to be going down. Clem is in trouble. And it looks like we do have a series. Yeah, we have a series here. The storms did well enough. Massive storm of the Bio Army once again. CC goes down. GG gets called. And ShoWTimE takes game number 3. We have a series. We have it back and forth. We're going to game 4. GG, papi. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Again, ShoWTimE, he saw an opening, he saw a way in, he was able to reinforce with his army, hit that third base. We saw that Clem, he was exposed. There was no SimCity, for example, no bunker, no SimCity in front of his army, and the storms were brutal, catching out the main army itself. Well, a couple of storms went down on the SCVs, of course, but Marines, they just got shut down so hard. And now we're getting to game number 4. Let's go. Jumping to game 4, we're going to be loading into the Old Republic. Let's go. Meanwhile, thank you so much. A big shout out to Saka Venom in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 3 months. 3 months in a row. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. We appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft as we are getting into game 4. And again, we've gotten where I wanted at least. We have a series. We have that back and forth. Can we go all the way to the ace match? Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the blue Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. Let's go. Let us go. Again, Clem, he was caught off guard by the heavy storm play. As I mentioned before, he wasn't aware if he was going against High Templar or against Colossus. Yeah, no map vision, no map awareness. And with that, we're now getting into game 4. Clem is still on match points. Oh, hello. As he moves out, I believe the probe would have seen that. As Clem is making his way into eBay block. And yeah, ShoWTimE sends the probe down. Sends him down. Spots the SCV. So attempted cheeky move here by Clem, but is going to be denied. Extra boys have arrived. And the eBay block is denied. Yeah, it denies the block. There's the expansion. So disrupted opener out of Clem. As the SCV turns back around. Likewise, we shouldn't see a pylon block. There we go. Yeah, no pylon block. Both players going for their own economic openers. We're settling in. And welcome one and all to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is a larger map. I mean, it's like a medium-sized map. It's, I guess, a little bit larger here, but the bases are more exposed. We have an exposed 4th expansion, other exposed 4th expansion. The 3rd base is a little bit more accessible, as we have a wider ramp coming into the 3rd, and of course the wider entrance on the right-hand side as well. So we do often see some aggression in the mid-game from both sides. We'll see how Clem will approach. As the Reaper breaks in. Does poke in. You got nothing major. Poking in, pulling away, threatening the economy. Behind this, going for a mine drop follow-up for the first time this series. And there's that Twilight Council. We have our take of choice, going to be Blink. Now, I would say that currently there's a higher chance that ShoWTimE cuts some corners and he goes into 2-gate Blink. Previously, there was reason to go into 3. Never mind, 3rd gateway. So safer build here by ShoWTimE, going for the 3rd gateway. Hallucination does scout the Widow Mine, even baits it out. Tries to. Does confirm the drop. Is going to be a triple mine drop, okay. A little bit more committed here by Clem. But at least ShoWTimE knows. ShoWTimE knows what's coming. Ooh, Reaper finally goes down. Did delay the third expansion. As ShoWTimE is going for his third base before the Robo. So he does at least cut some corners. Cut some corners. Claiming the third. As ShoWTimE should not lose much to the mine drop. It is a more committed mine drop here as, oh my apologies, I thought 3 mines were moving out, but one of them is staying at home. One stays home. Speaking of, we're going for a second drop. Oh, okay. Mara, is that you? Mara's been doing this. We'll see if we continue mine drop play. It looks like the answer is no. But the first drop does threaten the main base. Stalker's in position. Second drop is moving out. If you've been watching Maru's TvP as of late, you would know that he has been experimenting with a unique style of non-stop mine drops into the mid-game, where he'd make up to like a third, fourth, fifth medevac and just keep sending out drops. But here we can see that Clem only makes 2. So only 2 drops. Stops there. But does boost into the natural. There was an opening. ShoWTimE reacts, he pulls away. At the same time, ooh, drop is denied. Nice retargeting, gets 1. 2 probe kills in total. Second medevac outside of the main. At the same time, ShoWTimE moves out across the map. And, ooh, no high ground vision though. The goal was to get into the main. But he's denied. There is no stim. Yeah, no stim. These stalkers, they can bully the Marines. Mine drop goes back in. Does reborrow. Catching out 4. Oh! 4 probes, not bad. Okay, 4 probes go down. Stalkers once again, remember there's no bunker. Yeah, no safety bunker. The Marines are being bullied, STVs as well. This is getting out of hand. Yeah, this is getting out of hand. Remember, there is still no stim. Cashing out so many Marines. Heavy losses for Clem. Mine drop back in. Shot goes off in the gas geyser. Mine shot is wasted. And in the end, that was how many? That was 16 Marines and 1 Marauder as well. The efficiency, pappy. Oh no. Keeps the drop busy. Here come reinforcements. ShoWTimE wants to kill. He's already traded well. Drop moves down, so even less to defend. Ooh. Does not get the Marauder. Stalkers are punished. ShoWTimE has to get the hell out of here. At the same time, with a mine drop in towards the natural. The mine drop play does continue. We spoke about it earlier. This is a style that Mara's been experimenting with quite a bit. But they get scouted. Oh no! They get scouted. They get shut down. Clem forced out of the natural. Doesn't find a way in. Marauder gets picked off as well. And bleeding out a bit too much. Losing more Marines. And soon to be losing Marauders, more importantly. A lack of charge is hurting. There is no charge, but Marauders getting picked off. Mine drop going back in. Oof. Once again, it's denied. Mine drop is being denied. ShoWTimE still needs to wait for charge. Yeah, still a messy defense. He blinks in. Oh god. He blinks into the Marauders. Questionable move out of ShoWTimE. Bleeds out 2 or 3 Stalkers. Charge is now done. Charge is finished. It does finish up. Clem trading with the army, catching out a Stalker. A couple of Stalkers go down, but Clem is also running out of steam. Oh, is he? Okay, reinforces. He does reinforce. Storm is done. Oh my god, he tanks it. Oh god, he tanks the storm. He rushes in. Winter mines are coming to reinforce. Oh my god, friendly fire. We're getting messy. We're getting very, very messy here. It's very close. Clem is so close to breaking through. Cleans up all the zealots. He wants those Stalkers. Does force the Archon. ShoWTimE is barely holding, but he's bled out too much. Yeah, he's bled out too many Stalkers. Stalkers are exposed. They get picked off. 1, 2 Stalkers go down. Heavy losses here for ShoWTimE, losing 4 Stalkers. The Archon as well. And Clem has too much momentum. At this point, he has too much momentum. He's traded too well. Lost how many? Lost 20 Stalkers in the defense. Heavy losses there for ShoWTimE. Again, you can't afford to lose that many. You want to build them up over time. I mean, the economic losses didn't hurt earlier when it came to the mine drops. But Clem has done it. He has done it. I was hoping for the ace match, hoping for a game 5. ShoWTimE, he has 1 Storm. He's got the 1. Yeah, Storm doesn't quite connect. And with that, Clem has done it. Again, there's no battery, no defensive setup, no Stalker, no High Templar, no Storm. Zealous is harder down. Only 4 Stalkers left. Down to 3. GG gets called, and Clem, he will claim the series 3-1, becoming the WardiTV Monday number 77 champion. GG. GG, well played. A very messy end to the game here where Clem was barely breaking ShoWTimE. It was still quite close, still very, very close. ShoWTimE had his own strong moments as well, picking up all those Marines, slowing down the push, of course, but did bleed out 1 too many Stalkers. 20 Stalkers going down throughout the course of that game is brutal. Again, heavy losses. Ideally, you do need to build them up over time as a Protoss player to secure your army. These are expensive units here, and to bleed them out over time is brutal. To lose them one after the other. Likewise, you saw the charge was a little bit late, so with charge being delayed, we saw that these zealots, they had a harder time defending, harder time holding on. That's what led to so many Stalkers getting picked off to begin with. And GG well played. Eventually Clem did overwhelm. A bit of a more unique game here where Clem did continue mine drop play, and it was kind of worth it. He was able to catch some of those workers, able to catch some extra probes. Eventually he even flanked the army with those Widow Mines as well, racing back home, or racing to reinforce. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Clem as it does claim the series. Again, we had that intense back and forth. And a shout out to ShoWTimE, because ShoWTimE did well making it this far. He took down Rogue and he took down Hero, 2 very strong players. Both Rogue and Hero did fall at the hands of ShoWTimE. Likewise, Clem took down Björn to advance on to those finals as well. GG, well played. Congratulations. With that, Clem, he will be our champion. No stranger to champions here for the WardiTV Monday. Congratulations. And shout out to ShoWTimE, because often the finals is like Clem versus Hero, or Clem versus Classic, or Clem versus Max. So nice to see some diversity with ShoWTimE instead making it to those finals. Cool to see. As we do catch up on the rest of our schedule, ! Calendar or schedule in the chat to have a look at the schedule yourselves. But we just wrapped up our Thursday morning broadcast of the WardiTV Monday. As you can see here, we have one more cast this evening. That is going to be the Pondcast. The Pondcast is going to be this evening, and I believe when it comes to our topics, we do have the Gamer Richie interview that was held. That was organized by the SE Historian. That was, of course, earlier a couple of days ago. We have the TLMC 22 judging phase. We had our first day of judging on Tuesday. We'll have our second and final day of judging tomorrow. You can see it on our schedule. You can see it on our calendar. That is going to be in less than 24 hours here on the channel. For those who don't know, I am one of the judges for this Team Liquid map contest, and we're going through all the macro maps and dynamic maps tomorrow. That is the plan. If you missed it, I do recommend the VODs for the Tuesday stream, as we did go over the standard and rush maps on Tuesday. So we did go over those maps. We still have the other half to get through. It's a lot of maps. I will say that I've already had my first look at the macro maps, and a lot of them are crazy. a lot of them are wild, baby. There are some more standard ones. There are others that are a little bit more experimental, that I feel like maybe took it a step too far. There are others which I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see like how they develop in the meta as well. So we'll get into it. Again, that'll be tomorrow. I do have a deadline for this weekend for the TLMC to finalize my feedback and finalize the TLMC results. And then eventually we'll have our top 16, and public voting will be open in the next couple of weeks. So important time here, really important, really exciting time when it comes to the new upcoming map pool. Meanwhile, we'll be discussing Epicland GSL CK, also announcements regarding that. We'll be covering that and casting that next week. True, as we have been casting GSL over the past couple of weeks now. couple of additions, RSL results, of course, WardiTV Team League results, Thermal Team League results, or 2v2 results, and of course other news, other tournament results as well. So a lot to discuss later on tonight. Otherwise, TLMC judging will be tomorrow morning, and then we have Amantis, SDO, and STC over the weekend. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. As you can see, we do have a little bit of a leaner week this week, which is on purpose. Basically, I needed some extra time to actually go through all the maps and go through the Team Liquid map contest judging process. I did need extra time to do that, outside of the stream. So I did need extra time. That's why we do have less broadcasting throughout the course of this week. Is the reason why. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Again, the podcast is going to be in around 7 hours. Jesus. Around 7-ish hours time. I'm going to go get some rest. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm gonna get some rest. Again, that's gonna be in around 7 hours time, and we have the TLMC tomorrow in less than 24 hours. We'll see you. Only 4 half days, less broadcast. True. I mean, 24/7 was normal for us for a while, right? Like, was normal for us for a while. But I will say that we're slowly catching up. Like, throughout the course of April, we should be caught up with all the replay coverage. Like, we still have some, like, StarCraft Evolution replays, like SEVO. We still have some SEVO replays, some 2v2 replays, and some Brazilian tournament replays as well. But slowly we should be able to catch up with all of that, and then ideally we cast once a day. that's the ideal. 1 cast a day, and that means we can sleep and actually sleep properly. That's the dream. we'll get there, baby. We'll get there. In May. I say that every time. I'm like, next month. It's looking leaner. It's only looking leaner because we haven't filled it up, but next month, baby, next month. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys later on tonight. Otherwise, you can follow us on all the socials, !socials in the chat. We do stream on a regular basis, and if you can't watch something live, if you want to have a look at the TLMC judging process for day 1, it's on YouTube. The podcast is on YouTube. The Home Story Cup, Thunderfire, Rongi Cup, Kung Fu Cup, RSL. It's all over on YouTube. So if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. Otherwise, if you wish to support us monetarily, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments also on a regular basis. So you can support us there if you wish. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Till next time.